Okay, hello everybody. This is TechStack here, guys. Hey, lots to do and lots to test, right? This is the build server. Look at these awesome buildings. I can't remember if we showed them last night or not, so I'll show them real quick. Lumber camp. Hello. Hey, Tinkerbell. Hey, Eagle. Stables. Town centers, different mines for different resources. They still look pretty close, but if you look closer, you'll see that there's diamonds in the diamond one, gold and gold, and so on. So that's cool. Different variations of barracks, that one and that one. That's just a placeholder, I think. Tinkerbell's actually first. So that's the buildings we've got on the build server right now, or the template server right now. So let's switch over to the game. And I went ahead and modified my item that spawns in the town center to spawn the actual town center instead of the placeholder. And we'll see what that looks like now in action. So you can see I've been testing with it a little bit, building a few. It needs more testing, and that's what we're going to do first here. So if I were to come off of this one and slowly walk backwards until it spawns. I want to see if the spacing is right. So I clicked on this one, right? So I clicked on that block. It put a space in there. It's not right. Now this spacing is fine. That's what we want. What direction was I facing? Yeah. I mean, it works. I would say there's a half second of hesitation when it does it. So it might be a bit of a concern lag-wise. We'll find out though, right, as we test more. So where I'm facing to the south. So if I look at the code for the south, I was monkeying around with this earlier trying to figure it out. It's something to do with the validation piece being off somehow. Like it's doing its offset or not doing its offset properly. And I think it has to do with this, to be honest. Hey, Reaper. Shouldn't be spawning too many of them once. Right. And I think there's a few extra. Oh no, you trimmed it down. Okay. The other day when I was on here, this was the bounding box was higher than the flag. I was gonna say if we can lower that, then that would help. But that's fine. How are we gonna find enough flat land for that to be spawned? I know. We might have to play in super flat for the first few games. Okay, now that one was right from this side, but is it right on the back? No. So look, it's shifted by 2, which means it was trying to check all the way back to here and found that there was a block back here. Like it required 2 spacings back here. That's not right. But why? I don't know why. That's the problem. How are we going to get enough flat land? Oh, you're going to get more buildings. Maybe you could buy an item that flattens area. Maybe, but that could lead to its own set of problems. From a gameplay perspective. Like if I went inside of a mountain and said, flatten here, right? Then this entire thing was surrounded by a mountain. It'd be hard to access these things you got to kill on it. Take it down. Let's try that again. Oh, that's not the right block. Okay, I was on this one, and it lagged to took me that one. So that was correct again. I was going pretty slow, so I hope, yeah, see, the spacing's off. Unless this is scanned in an extra block in the back. Is that it? Yeah. So there's not an extra block. Maybe the map can have certain pre-made areas that allows for them to spawn. Yeah, it's an option. I think the initial starting area should be a pretty flat area, and then maybe we'll have normal terrain after that, or something like that. Okay, so if I did this to take that off again, so we don't add that extra spacing. Oops. Is it putting it in its chunk? What do you mean by its chunk? It's placing it based on where I'm clicking. Okay, I clicked there for sure. That's right. Okay, so I clicked. It must have been lag throwing me off or something. Because I clicked on this block down there, right? And then it spawned exactly where it's supposed to. So before, when it was shifted by 1, it must have been something else. So let's try it again. So let's go back a little ways, so we know it's not going to happen for a bit. And click on each one and wait. Let's also bring up the FPS counter there in the corner and see what it does. Man, it took 60 FPS away from me, but it was only for a second. And this is the worst case scenario. Like, this is the biggest one we have right now, so it's probably okay. And like CZ said, this is at the very beginning, you'll set it up, and then also, if you should buy another one, you can set it up. But I plan on making them pretty expensive, because it is like an extra life kind of thing for you. Ooh, furnaces, people can throw stuff in. Let's see how that works. Okay, so I think the southern face is now correct. Let's try rotate to the left here. And we'll just place one. I guess we'll rotate to the right so I got room for it. That's not the block. Okay. Let's make sure it placed the whole thing. It did. I found out when I started doing this, it's actually had a bug in my code. I was using the Y coordinate for one of the variables, and it would place ages away from me because of it. Okay, so that was where I clicked, 100% sure. And there's a 2 gap in the back. Okay, so that's wrong. This is which one? The west direction. Okay. Let's try one more time. Yeah, it's 2 gap. So what that means is when I was one more that direction, it was seeing this in the way. I get what you're saying, Eagle, but once I get this set up correctly, I can modify what the area it is it looks for very easily. But the calculations are off right now, so it's causing a problem. And these look really cool, by the way, CZ. Like, seeing them in the world next to other buildings like this without the boundary box around them, they look cool. So again, this is to the which direction? To the west. The only thing I can say is we need to shift this, but I think that's going to offset where it's going to create it. But we'll try it. We'll offset in the direction. Or it's because this is being rounded the wrong way. But this should handle that. Until we get an even numbered one, and then we'll have a problem. In which case I might just make it an odd number. Okay, And now there's a 3 block gap. So that's the wrong direction for that one. So we need a -1. Which makes sense because this was a +1 here. This is the other direction. Hey, Spooderman. Welcome to the stream. What? That wasn't right at all. That said 11, not 1. See what happens if I do it wrong? Cut off other buildings. There, we got it. One more time just to make sure. Cool. Now what I haven't been doing is clicking on the same, doing this way, and going side by side, make sure it's good. And it is. Cool. Let's go the other direction as well. Good that way. Let's go side by side this one. All good. Okay, so we've done whatever direction that is. South, west. Let's rotate again. We'll actually start, I guess, here. Go this direction. Check the sideways spacing. Really? Okay, something's clearly wrong with this one. I want a place. This is to the north. North has no weird rotation stuff. So it should be pretty straightforward. That's just going to take the block position. And look, there's its starting point for everything. The other one's like you offset it based on the rotation. Because remember, CZ, when they rotate funny coming out of the template thing, it's a nightmare. To try and figure out what there should be. That's what's going on. The north should be fine. Let's go over here where there's nothing. Click. It didn't place at all, did it? Huh. Okay, let's test east. We've done all the rest of them. Yeah, east is that way. So let's go over to here. Test east. Okay. East has a 2 block gap. Which is weird because that one... I wonder if it's a rounding issue. Maybe the other thing didn't round the same when I'm building it out. Yeah, we're good now. Good there. Okay, so it's just the north one that's really bugged. So to the north. Let's go way over here. Should be far enough away from everything. And I'm clicking and nothing's happening in any spot around us. Okay, so why? Let's first put a breakpoint into where this is called from. Call hierarchy. Right there, and we'll just try it again. So we're facing to the north. I hit right click, the breakpoint is hit. Step over that section, and we jump right out of it. So that means it returned false out of that. So this did not actually find a valid area for some reason. We were getting the position. Ah, we're not doing the up. That's why. Let's remove that breakpoint temporarily. Okay, Let's try again. There's the building. Cool. Okay, something's still very wrong because it's just building on top of itself. Although that looks pretty cool. Hi, Spiderman. Don't go wasting it all in the slots now, like I did the other day. Oh, let me out of here. So what else is it not checking correctly? There's no rotation to be done. It's the north direction. So the rotation for each piece has to be coded in. Like, not each piece, but each direction. Rotation none. That's correct. Block position up. We shouldn't have to offset at all for those. Let's try spawn on it. See, it's not checking their thing at all for some reason. The heck? What? Okay, we're just gonna have to put a breakpoint here. I don't want to do it because it's gonna take a while to try and sort it all out. It is a bit of confusion around what the numbers are and everything. So it should not be valid right here. Okay, go into that. And let's just run again. Okay, we are going into the north direction, so that is correct. Our block position is 205, negative 51. Let's keep going. Our size is 17 because I know this is 15 wide CZ, but this one extra on each side, right? 25 high and 17 the other direction. Step over, step over, step over. Okay, so that did not fail. R on Y0. Okay, so let's see. So the block that's called factory in that mod is a robot arm that adds work to the assembly table. So anything you try and make it in the assembly table needs work to be done. 5. It's a way of automating it. 0. And 0. So at 5, it said, nope, this isn't a valid block. And 5 was what? Let's do this so we can figure out what position it is. Block number 210. Block position for 210, 56, negative 51. What is that block at that position? You need the blueprints. You asked these questions yesterday, you know, man. Perhaps I did not explain good enough. Syntax error, that's a bad syntax. Why? Oh. Helps if I get it at all. Let me boost both? I can try, but it's gonna clip on both. I've got it set so I pretty much clip every once in a while. And if I turn up the music, then you won't hear me. Are you sure your sounds aren't down all the way? Or down too much or something? Let me listen to myself. Sounds aren't down all the way. Or down too much or something. Does everybody else think I'm quiet? Is it just CZ? Gotcha. Maybe I've got adjusted my mic settings and didn't realize it. I'll check in a sec here. Oh, what is this block? So what you mentioned, CZ, is exactly what I'm often trying to avoid, and that is being quieter than other YouTubers, because I want it to be like on the same setting or whatever, right? Just as loud. 205 to 210. So that would have been a valid spot for it to be complaining about. Okay. Let's go really far away and do it. What is your position now? 5 again. 0. Wait, is it just because I didn't let it finish, did I? On the last one. What the heck? How is this returning false? No, we only ever set it to false. So if any will go false, it should be false. Right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, it should have spawned in. And it did. But if I go here, it still spawns in. Why? We would expect this to return false. But it doesn't. So if it checks any block 134 or higher on the X, it should return false. So we'll run here. Our block position is what? 133. And I guess we check each one of them by hand. Great. Cool. One more on the X, which should come up here. Okay. Step over, step over, step over. And you didn't go false. Why? So it is 1 on the X, and that block is air. How is it air? 134. 134, 56, negative 48. So it's right there. 134, 56, negative 48. 134, 56, 48. So apparently we're checking out here. Huh? How? Let's look down in this version of the code. The block position is the block position there. But it's this. And that is based off of the context. Okay, so we do have an issue on that. So this needs to be something in line with that, where this BP here is this part of that. It's through that. I think that will do it. Let's let it run again without any breakpoints. If I get my way, no. If others get their way, yes. Okay, we're close. Oh, no, wait, that's right. Because, no, it's not right. That wasn't in the way. Dang. So, it's really weird that its offset is different than the other piece, but okay. I can deal with that. So this was... That's okay. Is it actually useful, though? I get that you like the idea of it and stuff, but it just doesn't seem like it should be useful. Take forever to dig things up with it. Especially right now, because it doesn't dig anything. And he done broke it again. Went the wrong direction, okay. I think it'd be fun to play with for about 10 minutes when you're actually trying to do something with it. I might remove it from survival, and you can spawn it in creative. Again, it still doesn't do anything. The other reason I'm not sure if I want to keep it in is it'll be a pain to calculate the math to figure out where it should dig at. Way worse than what I'm doing right now. Okay. I think that's good. That's every single direction. Also like 4 trillion of them. But hey! CZ, is it okay if I show the spreadsheet on stream, or do you want me to not do that because it's, I don't know if it has your name on it or anything, being that you shared it. Yeah. So here, CZ, let me demonstrate while you're probably getting my message. So if I go ahead. Okay, cool. Thank you. So that's good. That's good. That's good. And oh yeah, I guess I didn't realize that. So yeah, all 4 directions work. So what I wanted to show was a thing that I changed on the spreadsheet to point it out for you, because it's useful for you, which helps me. Right? So if we enter the footprint size on this, then when I go to code it, I'll use this column to figure out what the area is we need to try and set it to check. Like this 25 is also important, the height and the footprint size. It'll calculate this because it's just +2, so we got clearance on both sides. Yeah, and this will need to change so that it has values in here, but I think this is going to be a relatively expensive thing, and it's also not going to be the initial round where we need it, right? So like we might have 500 for each one of these or something, or for the majority of them, like food, wood, cobble, iron, gold. I think 500 diamonds is a bit extreme. Or maybe wood, food, cobble, and gold. Leave iron and diamonds out of it, and emeralds. So for anyone that's watching the stream, this is what we're going to kind of use to figure out the mechanics of the game, like what buildings we want to try and add at some point, what the cost of different things are going to be over here. Oops. The cost of it's going to be to build that, what its hit points are going to be per target block, the total, etc. And what we're saying for the minimum is we're going to have town hall, farm, lumberyard, all the different types of mines. We got a question mark on the gold mine? Yeah, I guess we don't have to have a gold mine. Same for emerald. Barracks, archery range, and that's pretty much it for the requirement. I did have the excavator working in a previous version of the mod where the model was different and the sizes of all the arm pieces were different. So the calculation worked for that one, but as soon as the arm size changed, it broke. It also did different digging style too. It would break anything, and at one point, like, you could use your mouse and control it that way, but that was horrible because it would lag behind where your mouse was and break it once it got to wherever you moved your mouse, because you can move your mouse super fast. It's unrealistic. Well, anywho, this wall segment I think could be very useful for building. What I have in mind for that is if we get some bricks here. If we built like a wall segment, like, I don't know, say like that. I guess this one's not square, is it? If I do it this way. Let's say another one high. I don't know how high it'd have to be, but high enough that it's a impedance for all of the enemies coming at it. You know, we can put the whatever these granules or whatever these things are called. Well, I guess this is a bad distance because they would double up then. Oh well. And then let's see. Yeah, we can do this. Boop, boop. So I guess I need to be one more wide. And then like a ladder in there. And it'd have control point, or not control points, the target block somewhere on this thing, right? That way it's killable by all of the mobs, but it gives you a quick way of building up defenses instead of having to place that many blocks, right? And if we did this, then I would probably take away the ability to place any blocks at all, because you don't have a need for it anymore. This is the only thing I think that blocks would be needed for in the current form we have without a wall. So there might be a target block, say, there in this wall. And when that target block dies, the whole area goes. There's not a test server for this one, Eagle. There's a build server for building these. And along with, you have to follow all of his CZ's rules for doing it. Because they helped me. That's why we established those rules. So let me know what your thoughts are on this wall. If it would be a good thing or a bad thing to have it as part of the game to quickly build a wall of a set length. Because the thing that's holding me back on it is it would have to be a set length. Yeah, I know the wall looks bad. I'm just trying to give an example. Like, we could make it look pretty, but should we have a wall of a set size, or should you have to go and go, I want to build a wall today? Or is it a plop wall? plop, wall, right? And you're done building a wall over a big section. What's that guy message need to reply to? I kind of see walls in one of those two forms as being needed for the minimum product. I did, but I think your idea of scouting is completely different than my idea of scouting. And also, I almost envision this whole play area as needing to be chunk loaded. So it would have to be within something that would be chunk loaded. It might be a big area still, but I think it kind of needs to be chunk loaded. Because what I think is going to happen is I'm going to have my barracks, which I wish I had my barracks item. I need to get these items added. If I plop down a barracks, say here, and my guys are coming out of this, spawning in, and I go off into battle with the rest of my troops, I still want that thing spawning in troops while I'm away, right? To A, defend my base for me, and B, be ready for my next attack when I come back to have some troops here ready for me to go. I completely think that every attack requires the player to go there. He might stand behind the front lines like a normal general would in a medieval battle, but he's going out there. He's going on to the battlefield. I think we need a wall structure for a realistic RTS type game to see what kind of problems it's going to cause for us. There's several of us that play RTSs that like to turtle. So we need one wall or another eventually. You gotta feed your turtles, man. By the way, this part of this thing could make an awesome watchtower with some modifications. Like this section, the look of it looks like a watchtower with these doors. I don't know, I like it. It would need some openings so that the minions can see out of it, right? And shoot. We'd have to see how they behave doing it too. Okay, let's go back to the spreadsheet a minute, because I love spreadsheets, you know me, right? And let's figure out what else we can start getting in here and adding items for. It looks like the lumberyard is one of them, so let's throw this off to the screen here. You can't join the build server. That's going to be private. We whitelisted that one because we don't want people screwing up builds, basically. Because it's got some value to it, right? For us to be able to make the mod. So, TS Craft members only, please. You can pick the barracks. I like the smaller tents better. What I did was I grabbed all of the files without a 2 in their name. Like, you know, you had like barracks 2 underscore red underscore whatever. I just picked the first one, so I don't know which one it is. Because I just wanted to get something so I can start working with it. We can change which the file is as much as we want. Personally, I don't want any of the 2s to be the final version. We'll just replace the original with the 2 version. Might just build a 3D third variant of it this week. I don't know. And that's fine. And if you save it as another name, that's fine too. But I'll rename it when we pick whichever one we want. That's what I'm saying. So, Spooderman, whitelisted means that you have to be on the list to get on the server. And I only whitelist people that I've have been voted in. And that's a long process to do, so it's not gonna happen, bud. Hey, Fire.
Hello.
Wood. Well, we're gonna call this lumberyard, not wood. What am I doing? I have the item added, Fiery, that lets you spawn in the town center with just clicking one thing on the ground. It's kind of cool. Just because it's like so much, like you just boom, a building in your face, right? This is where it needs to be wood.
It's not gonna pop into existence in a way that's gonna kill the player, is it?
No. So wherever you click on the ground, it goes one block away from that in the direction you're facing. So even if you clicked at your feet, there you go, right in front of you. It's a good question though, because I haven't tried to test that, so maybe we should. Lumberyard builder.
Sorry I wasn't on yesterday. I had a lot go on in a short amount of time.
You're fine. I wasn't on till like 6 or 7 at night. Something like that. Everything okay?
No, I can't really talk about it on here.
Okay. I so bad what to have capital names, but I can't. Let's copy that one and use that one instead, because all these are going to be named the same except for the word stone. So we got stone, we got iron, gold, diamond,
Oh my god, can nobody spell my name the right way?
fiery. At least he didn't call you Sparky. Got around gym looking good. Forget walls for now. Just imagine the playfield is large enough. No need not to need them. Okay. No, I know what you meant, CZ. You meant I'm looking good, even though I don't have a webcam on.
Well, of course you don't have the webcam on. You're not at 1,000 subscribers yet.
I know. Get on that, people. In fact,
subscribe now.
Push the button. So we need a mine site. Stone. There's no way for me to copy that, is there? Dang it. Because if I do... Oh, wait. We're good. Arm. What's up?
This girl I'm talking to, she's streaming the game Warframe on Mixer, apparently.
Okay.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Mixer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I think that's a Microsoft thing. Like they wanted to be in on the everybody's making money on streamers instead of us. And then they got Ninja, the Twitch streamer, to switch over to Mixer. And there was another big name within the last week that won over. So big I'd never heard of him. But I guess they're trying to steal Twitch's business, giving people deals to go over there. Is it better than Twitch and YouTube?
I don't know.
As far as watching a stream?
My first time starting it up.
Just a website, right? Or do you have to download an app or something?
There is an app, but I'm going to be watching it on the website.
Yeah, that's how I would do it too. Emerald. Gold. Iron. Stone.
Yay, nobody's got that name.
Let me guess.
No, I have a Microsoft account, but my name for that one was Fiery Killjoy 666 because that was my gamer tag on Xbox Live.
Gotcha.
But I'd rather it be just regular Fiery Killjoy.
Gotcha. Okay, there's 2 R's in Barracks. Whew. We had it as 1 R in this spreadsheet, and I went and changed everything to read correctly, or so I thought correctly, earlier today, and there was like 50 files changed. I get what you're saying, Spooderman, but people who aren't subscribed aren't going to know what the stars are about anyway. Oh, nuts. Okay, I'm going to leave the second message hidden. So there's some things that YouTube will automatically hold the message for review, and I have to click on a button to let it go through. So like if you were to swear, or if you were to put subscribe now, because it thinks that you're trying to get people to subscribe to you, kind of thing.
And then we have weird instances of it, like the other day where Reaper put up a message that had absolutely no reason to be held, and it was held.
Yeah, we couldn't figure that one out. And I think he said it again, and it went through though.
And it went through. It did.
Yeah. That's okay, Spider-Man. You didn't know. That's why I was explaining it to you. Okay, so we need to change these to read the right names as well. Hey, thank you for the sub. Blue Flox Productions. I don't remember what he said. It was that important because I just let it go through anyway. When I read it, it was nothing. No reason for it to be a blocked or whatever. Get Town Hall Builder, so we want this to be Diamond, our mine site. Diamond Builder. And we want this to be Barracks, but we probably didn't set one up. Yeah, we didn't. Dang it. Trying to get these all added in one pass to make it easier myself, but I don't know if it's easier. That needs to be changed from Town Hall to Barracks. And then one for Archery Range. Okay, so Lumberyard needs to get the Lumberyard one. Ah, It's not going back to the same thing. Mine sight. Diamond. A wild gazer has appeared.
There goes the internet.
Oh, you want to do basketball? I'll do basketball. If I did. There. Right, is that it?
Basketball. What the heck?
Yeah, I typed it wrong the first time. Me type something wrong? What? Took long enough to respawn. I thought I typed it wrong the second time too. So you gotta do your team if you want to play. Oh, sorry, Spooderman. Oh, it's Eagle by himself. He's gonna get all the points. You can still join. A two-man team? No. Somebody's got to fight Eagle. There we go. So now you put in two numbers. The first number is what? The angle. So look at the 0 to 180, right? And pick your angle on that and put that number in there. And the second one is your power. So Eagle had a pretty good shot, but it might have had too much power there because he kind of went off into orbit. So he had some power. It's gonna be Gazer over there by himself. Gazer, start typing numbers, man. He doesn't wait on the other team to shoot or anything. Just go for it. 80 QP. What? Is anyone going to get a point? Oh, Spider-Man.
Eagle's getting close.
Spider-Man. Oh, bounce off the rim of the net. Spider-Man. And Eagle won already? Oh, he scored. Okay, I'm sorry. I know that's like spoilers for you, right, Frey? Okay, so the net has moved because Eagle has captured the first one. And I might have somebody at my door, so let me go check, guys. I'll put myself on mute, but you can keep playing the game.
Oh, Gazer, that was so close. Oh, that's gonna be way too much power.
Okay, I am back. Sometimes you can ricochet off the walls. Although that did not work. Gazer, once I get some items added to the game here, I'll give you a rundown of what we're trying to do if you haven't seen. It'll just take me a hot minute to get them all added. Let's say iron. Okay, why are these ones airing off on me? Oh, got too much, it's all. So we are adding several here. Minute left, guys. You gonna be able to do this? Oh, Eagle with the bounce off the wall and the side of the net. Tinkerbell follows close behind. Oh, Eagle, that's so close. The triple bounce. Oh, and Zoom joined. Nice. And Gazer nails it. Nothing but net. Nice, Gazer. Net has moved again. Let's see. Oh, that's a close one. That's going to be hard to make a bank shot out of that one. It's all tied, too, so you have 20 seconds for a tiebreaker. Go. Go. 14 seconds. Gazer's at the shot, and it looks like he went the wrong direction. Eagle's up. Oh, oh, Eagle's so close, man. 5 seconds left. Oh, Eagle both sides of the net. Tied game. Oh, Tinkerbell. Nope. That was good. And I guess it dances afterwards or something. I don't know. What's everybody showing up for? There we go. So that's fun. I forget what the other game was that we did before. There was another one, but can't never. You know what? Yep. I don't know if it gave a prize to anybody, so I'll just have to do it manually. We'll just give it to everybody. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. If you don't get a prize out of that one. Comment overboard. So let's see here. I've got Town Hall already. We got farms. We don't have a farm scan, so I can't add that one yet. Everything else should be there. So. Hey Lucas. Okay, I'm gonna turn notifications off for a second. That's excessive. Actually, I think it might have just like broken it because it stopped dinging. There we go. I don't care if the thing pops up a bunch. Tinkerbell with all the star catching an eagle. And Zoom and Gazer. Tinkerbell, Zoom, Gazer. Wow. Let's see. So, sorry, I'm distracted by the minigame. We need to add a bunch of items now is what we need to do. So how many do we need? We need one for barracks, one for lumberyard, diamonds, emeralds, gold, iron, stone, and the town hall's already there. Okay, so that's the first one. Barracks. This will be barracks. This will be lumberyard. Diamonds. Emeralds. Gold. Iron. stone. Okay, and then we change these out here. Site emerald. Site iron. Stone. Okay, one more series of things to do, then we copy the items down in there and we should be set. So this needs to say barracks. Line site. Diamond. Emerald. Step. Terminate, sure. And then we do this however many times. Barracks, lumberyard, diamond, emerald, gold, iron, stone. So it's barracks, builder item, lumberyard, mine site, diamond, mine site, emeralds, mine site, gold, mine site, iron, stone. Okay. Let's try it. Wait. We need to put in these figures here. So this is the increased size. So I need to go into the world here and see what the size of all these buildings are. So the first one on our list here is the barracks. So let's get the barrack dimensions. And we are using the barracks red 2, which I think is this one. Barracks red 2, cool. So it's 11, 11. So 11, okay, so 13, 10 is what we need. 13 and 10. Save. Lumberyard. Now what I don't know is if it's this lumberyard or the other lumberyard, but that's okay because I think they're both the same size. 13, 4, and 13. So lumberyard, on my spreadsheet I'm plugging in the 13 just for reference, and the 4, the other one was 10, right? That's what we just said for the barracks. Yeah, 10. Okay, so this lumberyard should be 15, 4, 15. Okay, and what else? The mine sites should all be the same dimensions, I believe, so that should make it pretty quick to go through. Once I find where they are, I've lost them. They're there. So That is not proper. 767. Let's make sure the one here is 767. 767. Cool. So let me just plug those numbers into my spreadsheet. 7, 6. And those for all of those. Okay, so we should be plugging in 9, 6, and 9 for all these. Come on, let me type it. That should be it. Let's save that and let's run it. See what we get. It might crash horribly in our face. Gosh, how many more subscribers do we need for the next milestone? And what are we gonna do for the next milestone, guys? Like, we had so many subscribers and we set at 800 was our next milestone. I'm not sure anymore what we're gonna do. At 1,000, we're talking about the face reveal. Re-reveal, I should say.
Yeah.
We're at 782 subscribers. So we need what? 18 more? Resource progress GUI. Okay, that's what crashed. Chant for basketball. You want to do basketball again? Yeah, it's my overlays crashing for some reason. I don't think that's related to the items we added at all. Let me see if I can spot it here real quick. If I can't, we'll just try again. One more of entries did not copy the correct ID. Check log for details. That makes more sense. Oh, you want to do basketball at 800, huh? Should we do Death Cube?
I have a more crazier idea.
What's that?
How about if you get 800 subs, me and you do a 24-hour live stream on a day that we actually can, not that we like do it that very day or something, but and
I can't commit to a 24-hour live stream, unfortunately. I have family that will prevent me from streaming for 24 hours straight.
A 12-hour?
Oh God. I'm old, Fiery. I can't sit that long without a break.
I'm older than you are. I don't want to hear it. And I was going to say, our streamers can pick what games we play.
Okay.
We'll throw up a list of all the games that we own together, and
not a super long list, but I get what you're going for. Kid's just like, quack! He just said Q in chat. Because he knows what kind of games we have together and he wants to play too. If it doesn't crash, Gazer, I will show you what we've been working on. If it does crash, I will try and... Dang it! I'll try and fix the crash and then show you anyway. I'm pretty sure I got an idea what it might be. So lumberyard.
You know, I swear to God, I'm gonna buy every single TS Craft member a freaking dictionary for Christmas.
What? What?
Look at Eagle's last message.
How about we do a death cube and it'll open it up to people? Gotcha.
Actually, it's even worse than that. I need to teach Eagle pronunciation. There's a difference between two, and two, okay?
I'm not gonna comment because English is my first language, but it doesn't seem like it some days. Gazer had the perfect response. Gazer, if that wasn't on purpose, it was very cool anyway. Okay, that should fix it, I think. Assuming it's not another one out there.
Gazer, you're such a smarty pants, bro.
Yeah, I figured it was voice chat. My wife uses voice chat all the time, and I get this message about her kids, and I'm like, he did what? It's just the voice chat thing doesn't work. I think we've talked about that before, where voice chat or voice recognition is getting worse instead of better for some reason. Gosh, you can tell when a star spawns, the chat just goes nuts. We're fighting for it like a bunch of wolves or something over a piece of meat. Hey, I will say the same thing that I said, what was it, a year or two ago. If I can get, like, what was it, 1 million? I think it was 1 million. I think it was 1 million subscribers by the first of the year. So January 1, 2020, I will quit my job and stream all the time. But it has to be 1 million subscribers, right? Because if I get 1 million subscribers between now and then, I would assume I've already had the hours and, yeah, like be able to be partnered again on YouTube. I hate that they took that away. So,
yeah, the real question would be, though, how long after that would your wife divorce you, though?
why?
For not bringing home the bacon anymore.
1 million subscribers? You don't think that'd bring home some money?
Not all that much.
You don't think? Maybe I have higher expectations. Okay, so the diamond one works. Nice, the lumberyard works.
I beat you to it, Eagle.
To be honest, assuming it was fairly close on income, she'd probably love the idea because I would get to pick the hours I work then.
Yeah. Yeah, I know she'd probably be all for it. She seemed like the type of person that's always been behind you.
Yeah. Now, if the pay wasn't the same, that'd be different.
Yeah.
But I'm also saying that being fully aware that I am not going to get that many subscribers in time. Okay,
Yeah,
something's
I
wrong
know.
with this one. The Emerald Builder is
You can always dream, though.
Right. Oh, wait, I think it's because we don't have one. Let's see. Did we scan an Emerald one in? No. I set up the item or something we don't even have a building for. Cool. Gold. How about gold? Okay, there's gold. Iron should work. Yep. And mine site stone. Cool. So there's all the mine sites, the barracks, the lumber yard. What are we missing? The archery range. Do we have one made for the archery range? We don't. We need one for the archery range. Okay, so we'll have to get on that. Who won basketball, Spider-Man? No one. It was a tie. It was 1-1. Okay, so Gazer, what have you or haven't you seen of it so far? So I'm going to give you a quick rundown here if I can. The wall and the kitchen. Don't forget kitchen sink. You've seen bits. Okay. outhouse. So the archery range block is going to spawn inside the archery range, right? Actually, here, let's just do this. This barrack block, yeah, it's called barrack block now, will spawn inside this barrack structure. So that is this one. Okay. And it will do this. First off, it's colored according to my team. There's 4 teams in the game. Red, green, blue, yellow. And right now he's showing it like both the archers and the regular minions have the same armor setup. And that's why he's got a bow. But if I right click on him, he becomes highlighted there because I have him selected. If I right click over there with this sample item, which will be a command one later, he moves over there. If I click on another one, I now have 2 selected. And click there again, and they move together. They don't try and move to the same block though. They try and move into a formation. So I click multiples of these guys, tell them to move here while I'm facing this direction. They will try and line up according to that spot. What's going on? Oops, I accidentally clicked the guy. Now they're only kill him. So I don't have it checking if you're clicking on a entity that's the same team. As you see, they'll line up in a line. It's not a perfectly perfect line, but it's close enough. And if we had an odd number, the odd man out there is going to be in the back, right? Or I guess he would have been in the back. Let's do that again. There. So I'm facing this way, so the back guy goes over on this side. If I rotate this way and click there, they're going to line up in their formation again, but be facing this way. So the idea is, you know how in most RTSs you want your troops facing the enemies and lined up so that they can't get flanked. That was my thought behind that. I certainly hope so. Like, between all of this stuff, this is going to be an RTS in Minecraft, right? I don't think there's anything we can't do at this point that would be RTS-like, right? Because the idea is we're going to start off with a builder for a town hall. We're going to place down our town hall. This is the town hall. And this is the block you must defend. This building you must defend, right? And these pink wool represent where we're going to put an entity in the world. That way these guys can target them. Those entities are basically health for your buildings. And Spooderman, I see your messages, but there's no mod to make for that. The characters we have in here are actually from a different game that we've added into it. Like, it just does it. There's no need for a mod. Anyway, the wool blocks will be those health items. When those guys kill the health items, the tile entity that is this block here, the orange one, right? So that'll be a town center tile entity. We'll keep track of all of these entities that are targets, and the minions will attack the targets. So when they start falling apart, or dying, I should say, the tile entity will know, and it knows where it's spawned in out in the world, and will be able to change the structure. So if I were to look at these structure names on the mod, or on the build server even. So these structure names are, first off, team coordinated. So this is the red variation of this. So the banner is the red banner. And then 2. The 2 in this case means this is a full health mine site. When this thing gets to 50%, then the variation that we've set up that has a 1 here becomes what gets spawned in, right? So as this thing takes damage, it will visually appear to take damage in Minecraft. Then when it gets to no health left, this 2 becomes a 0, and that 0 version is basically the rubble of this block, right? So there's a penalty for having your building lost, right? Because that rubble will prevent you from building another one in this exact same spot. And it will start a timer inside this block that will, this tile block, that will clean up after itself and basically despawn the rubble over time. So you can rebuild there, but you can't do it immediately. So these are what will gather the resources for this mod. And if you see at the top of the screen, we've got our resources laid out like Age of Empires, right? So is it meant to be played in adventure mode then? I am going to try and set it in adventure mode, yes, because I don't want the players to break blocks or build, with one exception. And that exception is cobble stone brick walls, right? And we might have another one of these builder ones or builder items that lets you build stone brick. I don't know, like a preset, say 3x5 section of a wall, or maybe a 1x1 section of a wall. I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah, the resources. And you notice over on the left, there's spots for basically your hotbar, right? But in Minecraft, 1 through 9 is set up to do that, right? And we don't really want to be changing which item is selected in your hand as we're trying to set up our different groups, right? I don't have this coded. I don't have some of the stuff that I've already mentioned coded for yet, right? But we will. The hotbar selection over here is going to be your control groups, but it's going to be Control Z, Control X. So it's that bottom row of keys on your keyboard. It'll function like your 1 through 9 control groups, right? That you have on most RTSs. So that you can select a bunch of minions, hit Control Z, assign them to the first control group, and then push Z later to select that, right? Or X to select your second one, or C for your third, and so on. So it should help combat the clunkiness of trying to select things without a drag area drag kind of thing. Yeah, groups. What else? There will be tech tree. There will be an armory more than likely. So here, this spreadsheet kind of goes into what all buildings we're thinking about adding with this building system. I can't say that all of these are confirmed to going to be a thing. A lot of these are just ideas. Ignore the first one because it's just an example of how to fill this thing out. But town hall farms, the lumber yard, and all the mine sites, what we've talked about, barracks and archery ranges, stables, so mounted units, right? Wall segments, watchtowers, warehouses, and granaries. So this is something that CZ added. I haven't had a chance to talk to him about it, and we'll come back to that in a second. Treasury is another one in that same kind of category. Research center, armory, weaponsmith, marketplace. Those are all things that, by having those buildings, at least these last two here, it can allow you to do things like spawn your minions with armor or minions with weapons, right? That's the idea. Or advanced ones, at least. Research centers where you go and do all your technology upgrades, so you can unlock the armory, type of thing. Marketplaces where you can trade. So those, you probably are wondering, why is there gold and emeralds? Both kind of seem like a currency thing. One will be used for research. The other will probably be used for trading at the market center. And you won't actually gather that resource normally. Siege workshops, yep. That's another good idea. I don't know if we have it on here, did we? No, I don't think so. But I think under units, I put something about siege units or something. Sappers, right? Category siege weapons. So we're back to the Death Cube level of involvement of TS Craft people being excited about this, because CZ's excited about this. and that's why we have this server set up where he's built these along with Fire. He's built these structures that we'll use to spawn all this in. So on those two that I highlighted there, or those three that I highlighted, the warehouse, the granary, and the treasury, those are storage things, he's saying, right? So they store different materials But currently, the way I was initially thinking was this would be unlimited resources that you could store, similar to Age of Empires. What CZ is proposing is more of a style like Planetary Annihilation, Stream Commander, and that series, where you have not infinite storage, but a finite set of storage, and you have to build storage units to house more. I can see pros and cons to both ways. I don't know that anyone has necessarily created a hybrid, I'll call it, where you have I'm just saying that this code could easily be adjusted to, say, a modern day RTS game. What do you mean by that? Like, add more advanced modern day units? Because, yes, that's also stuff we've talked about. I know how to do machinery, right? I know how to make a machine that you can ride in where you can create a tank, right? I even know how to animate the tank tracks. We've done it on the bulldozer. So there's those guys trying to sign up in formation. They won't ever be perfect, but it'll be close enough for a Minecraft game. Because they just bump into each other. So those, what I was saying was, I don't think anybody's ever combined the concept of finite storage, so you can't have unlimited storage, right? With the resources not needing to be real-time consumed, right? So Planetary Annihilation, there's buildings that consume power every tick, right? We don't have that kind of concept. It's not a weird white lighting glitch, it's dark glass, basically. It purposely is dark so that you can use it to create a mob spawner room and have what do I call it? Mobs still spawn inside of it, right? But you can see in there. Okay, so I've got all my minions there. There's a bunch of melee minions and some archers in there as well. I am going to place down this cow. They don't attack the cow until I right click on it, and this works at a distance too. You can see the archers work, and the archers, I set the arrows up so that, oh, I didn't say this to tell you this, guys. All of this uses the native Minecraft team system, right? So if I do team list red, everybody's on team red, including me. So, can I set waypoints from the factory? I can't demonstrate that right now because we just changed the barracks to be this barracks, and it doesn't spawn the block. But when it spawns, wherever you click, so if I were to build the barracks again, where is it? This right here becomes the rally point for that block. So if this were a real one, it would spawn and they would immediately walk out here. That works right now. I would like to have another wand at some point where you right click on this, that sets this block as being the one you want to work with, and then you go and click right here, and this becomes the rally point for the block you last clicked on. I don't have that yet. Is that what you meant by waypoints? Or did you mean multiple waypoints? Because multiple waypoints will be a bit harder.
Yeah, I think he's meaning, yeah, what you were explaining.
Cool. No, you're fine, man. Like, I just achieved what I wanted to achieve, which was to get all these items in. Also multiple, of course.
So, Spooderman, you come home to a mob house?
Oh, dang, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that would be bad, Spider-Man. Let's see how these guys handle a navigation that's a little bit more complex. First off, let's get them over here so they are actually within distance of me. There is a limit for how far they will take commands from. Looks like they're all fine, though. Right now, there's no
Gazer,
unit.
because of you, there's going to be a unit cap.
Well, that's different than what I was gonna say, but right now there is none. So those guys are coming around the front of the building. Let's see if they can go up inside this building. Not this building, because this building is cut off by another one. Cool. It's a glitched one. We need one that's not glitched. Okay, come over here, guys. This isn't glitched.
That's a good question.
What's that?
The limit, is it going to be a hard range, or is it going to be, you know, like you start with, you can make this many and then you have to add buildings to...
Oh, well, he's saying it's an
No.
MC limit. Let's see if these guys can come up here. Look at them walk in the building. That's so cool. It's cool that you can see them through the walls. Alright, so they had no problems. I don't think they'll climb this ladder, though. But maybe they will. They climbed the ladder? Holy crap! No, that was a glitch. So, mobs in Minecraft, once they're on a ladder, will climb the ladder to the very top of the ladder. They can't really control it once they're on the ladder. And they can't go back down. So, Gazer, if we did have to have some type of limit, I think ideally it would be something like Age of Empires houses, right? You have to have so many houses in the world to support that population. But even then, to avoid the Gazer effect, as I spawn in as many of these things as I can. Pinky plat of pancakes. And hello. We might have to have a cap on how many houses if that's the case. Or just a hard cap overall on the mobs. The other things to look at in case we can make it so you can summon the minions in. Huh? What are you talking about, Eagle? My test right now is to see how many of these I can get on here before I lag really hard. I'm at 26 FPS right now. And there's 290 of them, 300 of them. I need to start killing them. But I also have 2 versions of Minecraft running on my computer and a stream, so...
Yeah, but look at the FPS drop.
Yeah, I'm trying to type fast so I don't, like, get lagged out here. Not Minecraft player. Come on, get this stupid hashtag out of here.
14, 13.
And all the FPS is back. Let's get that big thing on my face. Saying if you don't want the warriors, you can summon the mages instead. Are you saying, like, don't have 50 units, have more advanced units? I mean, that test I just did there kind of makes me think we do need a mob cap. There's also going to be a little bit of, you're going to prefer to have better units, so you don't have to click on them to select them.
I'm going to look back and see how many were on there.
$668 were killed when I was, what, at less than 20 FPS? With my 1080 Ti.
Right, so going by that, if you had 4 teams in,
yeah,
that means like 120 max per team.
Yeah.
And then that's really going to be pushing it, and anybody with a crappy computer is going to be hurting bad.
Yeah, and that's not counting the entities that'll make up the blocks, right, for the buildings, right? So this is going to be an entity. That's going to be an entity. But also, my computer's being server and client right now, right? When we host this on a server so we can play multiplayer, it'll take some of the load off. A little bit. Could you still right-click to place a sentry tower or walls? It's a good question. Let's see if we could do this town hall builder item thingy in adventure mode. And that's a negative. Dang it! Okay, so we'll just have to make it be like adventure mode.
You'll just have to restrict.
Yeah, just
a lot.
deny block breaking to players and block placing to players, basically.
Well, you can't deny the block placing because otherwise you won't be able to place walls.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So earlier, Fire, if you didn't see, I was debating whether or not we should have a builder for walls so that it, say, does a section of a 3x5 wall. Or maybe even just a 1x1 wall that's like 5 tall. That way you click and boom, there's your wall. So you don't have to place all the individual blocks. Because it's a bit of a time thing as well. If I can place a big section of a wall, then I don't have to place a small section of a wall and place 50 blocks for it. Now, okay, I got my turtles here with me right now, right? You know who you are. CZ's not here right now. CZ thinks walls are not important. Not from the final product, but from the minimum product so we can do a test. What do you guys think?
CZ's off his rocker. He don't know nothing about RTS.
Gazer, what do you think? You're my other turtle. I'd ask Air too, but
yeah, you ask Air, you're gonna get the same question because he's the turtle king.
I know. I even enjoy turtling. He's got my machinery mod on there at least. It's a secondary. I think as a function, it mainly is what? Mainly there without walls. Okay. So he's voting for walls are not needed for the minimum, I think is what he's saying. Spooderman, if you're playing on a laptop, make sure it's using your better graphics card if you get to. Sometimes laptops pick their the wrong one. But do you need walls to play a basic game? Is what I was getting at.
To play a basic game, no, you really wouldn't need them. But I mean, a lot of people's strategies, you know, tend to base around walls.
Right. But for you, me, Gazer, and CZ to jump in a match on the test server so that we can see if this thing is even working or not.
No, that I agree with. We wouldn't need walls for that.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to get to with a minimum viable product so that we can play a match and see if this thing is really fun or not. And then we can expand from there. I think I already know the answer, but what I'm kind of afraid is we'll get in there, Gazer will build 600 units, I'll build 300 units, and you'll build 300 units, and CZ will build like 10 units, and then we'll lag out the server.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen. Yeah, you're going to have to put that hard cap in before we do the testing.
I'm okay with letting it not be there to see what we get for performance and then having bad game, right? Because for one, I'm not sure how to do it. But two, like, let's figure out where the limit is. Like, if TS Craft can handle it, let it have some pain for one night. I don't care. We'll turn off all the other servers on it and let it see what it can do. As eagle is why I am here. What? Well, eagle, I don't know if you're a turtle in RTSs, if that's what you're referring to, and like to build walls or not. I know Gazer
He
and
doesn't play
Fire likes to.
RTSs.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm more than willing to hear your opinion. I wasn't trying to exclude you. Right, so this is an RTS where you're also able to die. Right? The minions will target players that are on other teams. So if I were to place down some of these blocks and change their team real quick, which I've got this menu for debugging. Let's actually create 2 different teams here. So you can see how they fight and stuff. They just automatically go after each other. Let's change them all to green though, so we can get somebody running after me that's not fighting the other people. Let these guys kill each other off. We need that dictionary quicker. What? Oh, that was a dig onto eagle. Okay, let these guys get killed, the red ones, because they will try and defend me or whatever, right? Because they're trying to attack the green guys. Okay, so let's go into game mode, survival. And I'm gonna start running now because I know they're all gonna chase after me.
Look, they're already looking at you.
Yeah, they're already targeting me. And you know, I haven't tweaked balance at all, right? So they may not be hitting very hard or as hard as what they will when they're all done. But yeah, so they can attack people. Hard to have 2 or more attack maneuvers to flank my enemies when you lead. Right. So you can take 2 different approaches to it. So if you're kind of struggling to get enough troops, you can lead the charge. You can be right in there and you can be fighting for your team, right? Or if you got the advantage and you've got the numbers of troops, you could set up on a hillside where you can see the battlefield and command your troops from there, right? So it's almost like that executive command. I don't know, the RTS, it's like a space robot RTS, but yeah, you can jump in and control them or something. How far is the range? Right now it's 32 blocks that you can click at them. And I think it's 250. It creates a box like 128 around you or something like that. Executive assault, yeah, that's definitely not. So if your minions, even if you have them selected, are outside of that range, they're not going to come running, but they're not going to be loaded anyway if they're that far away. So what that means is just keep giving them the commands to keep up with you, right? If you're running across the entire map and it's 500 blocks away, click group 1 here, click group 2 here, click group 3 here, and then just keep going back and forth, right? So that they continue to follow. Or click them in front of you, I guess. We would like to have mounted units. We would like to have pikemen that can counter those mounted units. We would like to have... What else? I said knights. I was thinking a mounted unit when I did that. So here's some kind of off-the-wall special types. A wizard or witch that uses magical potions for attacks and kind of is your combat engineer type in Planetary Annihilation, right? So he can heal allied units. He can give them buffs of speed or strength. Could you select waypoints for groups but have to hold a toggle so that no movement is made until hold is toggled again?
I think what he's talking
I
about
go
is
coordinate
like
attacks, right?
It's like you tell a group to go somewhere and then you push a button and it stops them from doing it, and then they'll wait until you push that button again.
Yeah, he's saying
Right.
coordinated attacks though, because he's saying so he wants to click group 1 to move to a spot, group 2 to move to a spot, group 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then let go of the button and they all start moving towards it. It's a good idea. Probably a pain in the butt to implement though.
Yeah, I imagine it's gonna be fun.
What if instead, Gazer, I gave you a button that was like, I don't know. I think we said X Z through period is a thing. What if we did like U, and when you hit U, it selects all of your control groups, and then you just click at the spot you want them all to go. I've also thought about, these units, these blocks are going to spawn your units, right? So this archery range block, when it gets placed down, it starts spawning things. It will consume resources later, it doesn't yet. But I thought about inside of its GUI. Oh, inside of it, this one's GUI because it's actually got the GUI. Putting a button for X through dot that says as soon as you spawn, you are now a member of this control group automatically. Oh, different waypoints. Gotcha. I have to figure. I gotta figure out a lot of other stuff first, Gator. Let's put it that way. Somebody did point out that if I did auto groups, it would be bad from one standpoint, and that standpoint is if your barracks was here and you told it to go to group 1, and you went all the way over here and issued a command for control group 1 to do something, he's going to run from the barracks all the way over to here because you issued a command for group 1. Probably not ideal, but I don't know. Maybe up to the player's choice at that point. Maybe you've got 9 for your melee, 8 for your range, and so on. And like that's just the guys that spawn in. And you just keep those there so that you can call them whenever you need them for reinforcements, and you select them and then reassign them to group 1, right? Once they get grouped up together. I don't know. You could do that. You could do some funny selection stuff, basically. Right. So the coordinated attack thing, or synchronized movements, would be interesting. Although, is it... I don't have the different groups set up. I need to do that. But if I had group 1, and I wanted to move there, and group 2, I wanted to move there, I hit Z, right-click, X, right-click. I mean, once you're playing for a bit, it shouldn't be too hard to do them quick. And you're kind of on a different level than me with RTSs. I'll do 2 or 3 control groups. And that's about it. I don't usually do all 9. That's just me. So that's what I mean by control groups, is you can hit X, click, command set, or Z, command set, right? It should be quick to boop, 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 get everybody lined up on a line. Okay, so Gazer, what core mechanics are we missing? We don't have farms in this, but we're gonna get farms added. I've decided food needs to be a thing. Oh, holy crap! Oh, the minion explosion. Getting groups in the first place is awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, Gazer, remember playing Ancient Warfare? Where we said, let's have a big battle in the one Death Cube, or no, the Magic Games arena? It's a lot like that, isn't it? That's what I keep being told by CZ and others. I think the control group thing is a completely new concept. I think the formations is a completely new concept. Because like initially when I would give guys commands, I can't select these guys because they all are on a different team. Maybe him? Nope, he's on a different team. Initially when I tell them go to this spot, they would all swarm that spot, and it was awful. Like they would just constantly shove into each other and never stop trying to move. Paver's a little hard to use to make straight roads. So you want to take the bulldozer first, dig down a block to make a place for the road, and then use the paver to drive across the gap because it's a little bit wider than the gap the bulldozer makes. And you can fill it in. Unless I've changed that, and Eagle, correct me if I've changed that, because that's how it used to be at least. You've made more roads than me, Eagle.
It's the same. I think it's still the same.
Okay. Wasn't sure if I made it on the same level or not.
No, it's still below.
Yeah. Okay, good. I could just like see someone recording this game where these guys are all selected on one guy's team and these are the other guy's team, right? And they clash in the middle. In fact, let's see if we can set that up.
Oh boy.
They do have different focuses. Agree. This will not be a survival. Go ahead.
Yeah, you couldn't play Ancient Warfare in this game with at the same time because it wouldn't work.
Yeah, for many reasons.
That's a good thing, though.
Let's build our archers.
The minions in Ancient Warfare would absolutely mop the floor with your guys. No offense.
You think?
Yeah. Their AI is really good.
Dang it, I've done this wrong. What, you say my AI isn't? The heck, Fari? We don't know if it's any good or not. I need to change these to different team. Let's make them all green. Well, I've gone further in character interaction. But I'm not done with it either, right? I don't have a lot of what I said ready.
The chaos.
Oh, the guy's fighting it too? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not killing them all because I figured green's eventually going to win this, and that's what I want. I want a bunch of green guys over here. So I want to be able to control them. We'll know when greens win when the punching sounds stop. Stop! I don't want to select you, jeez. Get out of my way. I guess I can start selecting them now. We're going to win. No Brazil. What? Oh, the colors, right? Formations and selections are already better. Thank you. I've got some advantages of like the glowing effect being a thing, right? So you can see who's selected. That wasn't a thing before in Minecraft, so I can just hook into the vanilla stuff and say, hey, you glow now. What I don't know is, if Fire and I were both on a server, can he see that these guys are glowing because I have them selected? Not end of world, right? But not the best either. Okay, you guys just go kill each other because I don't want you to be red over here at all. So I can't make the archery block have a different color. Okay, good. Those guys are all dead. Now, where did I... Oh, it's this way. Oh boy. This is going to just explode with characters when I touch them. Oh, they're all yellow! Dang it!
Oh, yes.
No idea was found. What's the heck? What the heck? Type. Yeah, let's do it that way. Type equals archer. TS, RTS. I need to kill them all so we can get some new ones spawning in, and then I can have an army so I can go attack the other guy. Type equals TS, RTS, minion archer. Cool. Yeah. Ooh. Select nearby units. Is that what you mean? That's a really good idea.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Let's get these guys right there. I want to grab a big army of them. I haven't tested extreme limits of these guys being selected, like extreme numbers of them. So I'm not sure how it'll behave if I get too many of them selected. I open the stream and just see everyone die. Hey, Zoom.
Okay, I think that's gonna be plenty. That's quite a
think?
bit.
I mean, I want to test it. You do realize this whole time those guys over there are still spawning, right? Move, my minions. It's going to take them a hot minute to get off of the guys that are stuck and not trying to move. Yeah, let's get them right there so we can select these other guys that are in the way. Getting pushed along. They're along for the ride. So what we're testing right now is a completely unrealistic thing, right? We wouldn't have this many of them spawning this close together. They would come out of their buildings and go to a rally point, which would all be different for each one. But it's still working, right? They're all going. Now, notice how they're rotating in their formation right now. That's because we've made additional selections. Once you have these selections made and it doesn't change, they should all try and keep the same spot within the formation. So this guy that's up here in the upper left corner should try to stay basically in the upper left-hand corner unless something's changed. Or I rotate my direction too, because that makes them face up.
Reaper, you're
different.
always eating something.
Why'd you add crates if there's already chest barrels and shulkers? A crate will hold basically like 3 million or something items of a given item. So if you put cobble in it, it will hold all the cobble you'll get. So what is our FPS right now? We've got 900 entities in the world and 123 on my screen right now. So that's probably about how many we have selected.
Right.
Yeah.
Prepare for death.
Yeah, prepare for death of my FPS. Oh boy, we're getting near those guys. Maybe we'll stay back here and issue the commands from here because that is going to be a bad day when they come this way. You can see I chose the archers on my side so they can outrange them. Those guys aren't even going to come close to this.
Hold on a second.
There's so many archers there. Hey, retreat, guys. No, wait, come back here. Crap, I clicked in the middle of the mass. They're killing each other, probably. Come back here. Come back here. See, this is the priority thing I was talking about. Like, we need to be able to override their desire to attack with a different command wand. We need 2 command wands. One that basically does what this one does, which is issue a move command, but allows them to attack along the way. And a second one that overrides it and says, you're moving now, dude, because you're about to get killed, right? You want to issue a retreat order.
Your archers are getting slaughtered.
Not as bad as my FPS. I have 2 right now. I have 1 right now. I think we need to kill these guys off.
How many entities are over there?
I just killed 404 archers, but they weren't all here. I was just in the whole world. And I have somebody at my door, so let me kill these. So we get FPS back. I'll be right back, guys.
Holy cow. And yeah, Gazer, we've already pretty much established that he's going to need to make more than one wand, because there's no way we can do all of the commands with one. Oops.
1-1 mini modes, Gazer. So I get why you're saying that, but what else do we get messages from? I get why you're saying that, but I'm afraid it's going to be too confusing in combat to try and go through the modes versus 1 key, 2 key. Because remember, you're not going to be placing blocks. Maybe switch modes between a single one. Everybody's saying that, huh?
No, I still stick with our original plan. I'd say multiple wands.
I mean, if I get the multiple wands working, it's easy enough to combine them to one later if I had to. But I think it's going to be too cumbersome with one.
Yeah, I really think so too.
No, I really don't have time to download a resource pack right now, man. I also usually don't download things from people on the internet.
So what, you haven't mailed to you?
Haven't what?
You haven't mailed to you?
Yes. On a typewriter written piece of paper. All the ones and zeros. 1110, 1110, 1110. And I type those manually into my computer, so I don't like downloading stuff. Took forever to get Minecraft, I tell you.
Well, I imagine, I mean, it being on Java and all.
Okay, so dad jokes aside, what do we gotta do next? Because we basically have all of these structures in. They don't have their blocks for their targeting. I kind of need to do a config file before we can add those target blocks. Mom jokes.
Well, maybe that should be the next step, because that's kind of getting to the point where you really need what you really need, right?
Right, and I think config files are also needed for all of the this costs 5 wood, this costs 5 food, whatever, right? So that we can change it easily without changing the code every single time.
Reaper, we know your mom is a joke. You ain't got to tell us, man.
I was at the store, and this guy had like the crappiest grin on his face, and he's talking to his kid. And I'm like, I overheard what he's saying, but I can't remember what it was. But it was 100% dad joke, because he's like, look at these shoes or whatever, right? And he's like, they're I don't know. I wish I could remember what it was, but it was 100% dad joke, and he just had this grin on his face, like he knew it was the lamest joke in the world, but it was the best joke in the world. And I wanted to, but I didn't be like to him, because I got it. I was in the same boat as him. It was funny.
See, I know for a fact I am the owner of the world's stupidest joke.
What's that?
3 guys walk into a bar. The 4th guy ducked.
Well, he wasn't as stupid as the first 3 to walk into it.
See, now you're like the first person I've ever met that actually gets that on the first time.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've heard it, but it was so long ago I forgot it, right?
Like most people, I have to say it to them like 2-3 times before they finally like, oh god.
That is the appropriate reaction to a dad joke. Oh. I would like to do the configs, but I need to learn how to do the configs in 1.14 because they completely changed them from 1.12. And all I know is 1.12. So what else is
Where
there?
did the goose go? I don't know.
Oh. Goose.
He died in Top Gun. Didn't you see it?
That goose. That took a second fire. We could set this up, but it'd be easier if I had the... I kind of need to do these in order. I need configs. Then we add those entities on the build server, because we can add the mod to the build server.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We need a team selection screen. So what I envision is when you join the server and the game's not actually running yet, not started, it basically puts you into a GUI that looks a lot like a lobby on a normal RTS, right? So you'll have a thing that says that Fiery Killjoy's here, CZ's here, Reaper's here, Eagle's here, whoever, right? Spooderman, whatever. And beside them will be a color. And that color is the color they've chosen for their team. So Fiery's on yellow, Reaper's on blue, whatever, right? And it gives you all 4 colors. And you click the one that you want to be on. That's how you choose your teams. Okay? Then once all the users that are currently connected choose a team, the button for start game for the op lights up. And you can start the game. And it puts the people at their respective spawn points for each of their teams. So I'm literally trying to create an RTS in this game for some stupid reason. Because I think it would be fun.
Could you like a challenge?
Apparently. Oh, hey, Fire, did I tell you... today I was informed by my coworker that she's quitting. And turned in her 2 weeks notice.
Okay.
This is the person.
How?
Huh?
Well, I was gonna say that affects you how?
This is the person that basically I've trained for the last 1.5 years to do what I do because I had too much to do before. And now she's quitting. So I'm making a big assumption that my manager tomorrow, sometime when he gets a free moment, is going to call me up and be like, hey, you need to do some extra work when she's gone. Again. Until we find a replacement.
Again.
And again is appropriate because when we looked for the first person, he joined for about a week, showed up at work, and then one day just left his cell phone on the desk and didn't show up again. Didn't tell anybody why. Like, didn't show up, period. Not for, like, any set of time. He just didn't show up. It turned out, like, later on when they finally tracked him down and got a hold of him, that some family emergency came up and he had to leave the country and never came back.
Wow.
So I can understand why he did it when it was like that. Like, you know, somebody was dying or whatever, right?
Right.
But could at least called and said, hey, I'm going to have to quit. Does this mean Tech is joining the circus? No, it means we need to get to 1 million subscribers by the end of the year so that when I'm totally fed up with my job by then, I can quit.
Yeah, we're totally aware of that. Spooter.
Yes, that's intentional. They lift you.
They lift mobs.
They lift all the things that they move, including XP orbs. And items. And mobs. And players.
Have fun making the mob farm of your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Because they also spawn on them, don't they?
It seems to be funny, though. But if you put compressed asphalt on top of them, they definitely spawn on that. Or even just asphalt. I think it has to be compressed though, so that they will be short, or it's short enough, whatever.
Oh, he must not hear me. Everybody cover your ears. I need to talk a little louder for Spooter. The mobs will spawn on the conveyors.
And don't forget, you can put the bleak glass down so you can look inside your mob farm, but they'll still spawn because it blocks all the light. And then
yeah,
you
can definitely thank me for that one.
You can send all of the conveyors. You can use the conveyors to send them to a mob shredder, which will spit the items and XP out the bottom of the mob shredder. And you can collect all the items with a screen and sort it into the various chests that are around it. And then you can put a XP collector underneath it as well and suck up all the XP so that you can absorb it later. And it doesn't lag out your game.
I don't even think Gazer knew about that addition. The bleak glass?
Maybe not. And hey, CZ.
Bleak glass? No, buddy. I'm sorry to say, buddy. I mentioned that one quite a while ago.
CZ, this is what you missed. So if we get space for this, gosh. Oop. That was the diamond one. There's the lumber camp. There's the barracks. This is something big, apparently. The heck is it? Oh, that's the emerald. We don't have the emerald one. I did that earlier, too. We don't have a thing for emerald, but I created an item for it already.
I don't care. And
what was that, Fiery?
I said hi back to CZ.
Oh. You're cutting out really bad for me. I understood you now,
no.
though. So we've got all of the ore resource creation, the barracks, the lumber camp. We got one for the town hall somewhere in here, right? Or did we accidentally delete that one? Town hall builder.
You
there we
said
go.
you had one for the town hall.
So we've got all the items that you've built in. We need a farm. What was the other critical one we needed, Fire? I can't remember.
Stables?
Stables won't be... We won't have those guys in yet. Like, we've got a stable built, but we won't have that in for the minimum viable.
Separate one for the archers?
Archers, that's what it was. Archery range needs one. So we don't have one for that. And we don't have one for the farm.
And Tech, the XP collector isn't out in the current version of the mod, right?
It's in the current version of the mod. We released that version.
It is released?
Yep.
Okay. Then, Spooter, there is an XP collector.
Yeah, it might be called EXP Collector or something. I can't remember the exact name. And when you place it down, place 3 on top of each other. So if this was this item, you would place it down, place that on top of that, and place that on top of that. And then it transforms the way it... If you do it that way, they'll look like they're all connected together. If you did it top down, it won't work, right? Okay. I think configs are next. CZ, I need to add configs to this as a priority thing because I need to do the rest of the coding. I need the tile entities to be part of the structures, and I need the entities to be part of the structures because it'll just make my life easier for testing, basically, and actually doing this. I can code stuff, but I can't test it, and that's just how I code. I test every 2 seconds. So, it's not in there? What else do we call it, Fire, if it's not an XP collector? I don't know. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about right now is I can't get that on the server, the mod on the server, until I have those configs, because I want to put a config in there that says if this is a build world, right? Where the tile entities do nothing, basically. Because we don't want to crash the build server by having these tile entities there and them spawning minions after minions after minions forever, right? So having it in build mode would prevent that. Because I'll code it so that they don't do anything. And it should be pretty easy for me to code that once I get the config stuff figured out. And I don't know how to do that tonight. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, okay, so... I'm pretty sure I showed Spooderman last night what it looked like, but I will show it again. Just for the fun of it. If I can find it quick. So I do need to get going soon. Here it is. This is what the completed thing looks like. I think the item in your inventory looks like this middle block here. But when you place it, it forms this. It's a multi-block structure. Okay, man. Yeah, that's completely understandable, Susie. I will work on the builds, on the config stuff this week, and hopefully get it on the build server and ready to go for the weekend. And if I can get that done before the weekend, I will also start adding in the tile entities on the build server for each one of these, so that they will, we can rescan and have it working here on my world. And we can go from there. How are you searching for it, Spooderman? Are you using something like JEI, that mod? Because that's the way to go. If you're using the vanilla thing, it's probably not going to work because you probably don't have the items in your inventory that it needs to unlock the recipe. Or if you're using creative, I don't remember where it's at in creative. But I will say this to everyone. Thank you for stopping by. I need to get going. I gotta let the dog out. I will catch everyone tomorrow, and make sure that you
Subscribe now.
I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Night, everyone.